feel like we should start off with a burr, 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 burr.
Oh, how beautiful.
Burr, 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 burr.
Yes, cinema gals, I'm sorry to say this, but my laptop's crapped out on me.
Rest in peace to Kaylee's laptop.
It's been a rough start of the week, and I'm sorry. I know it's very first world problems, but my laptop is my life. It's how I edit things. It's how I do my work. So to not have it, it feels like there's a part missing. You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be a real different experience for you for the next little bit. But hey, it could be a benefit, you know, like how people are doing in quarantine. They're trying to unplug for a little bit and get back to the real world.
I don't want to be part of the real... Have you seen the real world? We don't have our shit together. I don't want to be part of that.
Spend time in nature.
Oh, I already did. The bugs ate me. I'm just like, nope. Although, me and my mom went on a nice walk around the park.
Oh, nice.
Saw some baby duckies. There was like a deer who was basically right next to us.
Oh, wow.
Just grazing in the grass. I took a picture on my phone. Like, it doesn't look like it's that close, but it was like, I don't know, not even 2 feet away from me.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
I was like, and pause. Deer kind of looked up. I took a picture. I was like, thanks for your service. You enjoy the rest of your evening, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know. You never know. But I guess I'll have to try those techniques going back to nature. But anyways, hello everyone. Hope everyone else is doing better than me. As of recording this, it was just the long weekend. So.
Yeah, August long weekend.
Yeah, so I hope everyone had a good time. I had a pretty good long weekend. Minus my laptop cracked me out on Monday, but you know. I'll probably mention it another 20 times during the podcast, so.
Kaylee's in mourning, so we have to be patient with her.
Very patient. Very, very, very patient.
We're all here for support.
Thank you. And I know, Kendra, you said you had a lovely long weekend.
Yes, it was wonderful. We had a couple of celebrations this weekend for my parents. I almost said grandparents, but they're not quite there yet. So yeah, they celebrated their 30th wedding anniversary, and some family friends decided to throw them a surprise party out in their backyard.
Aw, that's cute. Speaking of love, if you're like me and you're forever alone, Hallmark Channel will forever have really shitty romantic movies for you to either criticize or fall in love with.
Yes.
Mostly it's on my end, it's to criticize, but it's just so much fun.
Right?
So, first off, do not watch Romance in the Air. I'll save you an hour and a half of your time. Just don't.
The title alone.
It was just so... Here's the thing, Kendra, and I'm gonna sound a little crazy for a little bit, so just everyone hold it together with me. So, okay. The idea is that this, obviously hardworking girl in the city goes back to her family's cabin to find her roots at a vacation home. Little rusty. Okay. But she sees her old friend that she used to have growing up there, and he is trying to run a tourism thing with an hot air balloon, hence Romance in the Air.
Okay.
So, I get that when shooting the film, that a lot of the scenes, obviously in the air with the air balloon, are clearly CGI'd. Mm-hmm. That's fine. But then I started getting a little crazy because then I was like, wait a minute, I think they CGI'd more shit than I've ever seen in any Hallmark movie.
Really?
Like, the restaurant they were at, I don't think was a real place. Like, the wide shot of them was so fake, it, like, hurt me. It was definitely just a still photo, and then someone, like, recreated a really shitty iron fence. Like, it just looked so bad.
Oh my god.
And then, like, when you went to, like, their kind of over-the-shoulder shots of them, it was horrible. Like, at least the guys looked a little bit better, but there was something wrong with the girls, because, like, the way the depth of perception was didn't make sense to me. Like, it just was so bad. And then, like, for some reason, the shop where he runs this air balloon business, I think it was all CGI.
Oh my god.
The room wasn't real.
Was it like, what is that movie called? Oh my god, Christmas in Wonderland bad?
Yeah. But they, like, were recreating locations, and I was like, why are you doing this?
Oh my god.
And so I was convinced, I was like, well, this had been filmed, you know, because normally a lot of these films are filmed like in Vancouver, but it was actually filmed where it said the movie was from, which was where was it? Idaho. Oh, I don't remember, but basically, and I found like location photos taken from the actors of some of the places, but it was only the outside places. A lot. I think they honestly did so much, and maybe I'm going crazy. Because then everything didn't look real to me. I was like, well, this is fake. This is fake. It was just something to do with, like, their outline of, like, their body against the background didn't make sense to me. And
maybe it was the lighting.
Maybe, but it was just so bad.
But honestly, though, like...
And unexplainable.
Honestly, though, I wouldn't be surprised just because... And, like, no offense to these movies. We obviously, you know, being that we went to film school, we've made short films. We know what it's like. You know, it's hard. You care about something. You're really passionate about it. Sometimes you don't get that much money, so you gotta get creative.
Yeah.
But there's just some movies you watch and some scenes you're like, why did you do it that way?
Right? But yeah, it was just very painful. I think my ultimate favorite part, though, is that at the beginning of the movie, because it wasn't really explained super well, she has, like, a hairdresser friend and her boyfriend. Or, sorry, so she has a friend who's a hairdresser. I already forgot her name. Not important. And then the main character has her boyfriend named Michael. And at the first scene we saw all three of these characters together, I thought Michael and the hairdresser were actually together, when it wasn't true. But then throughout the entire movie, the hairdresser's like, you don't want to hurt Michael's feelings. And I was like, yo, this girl's cheating on you. And me and my friend were just so determined. We're like, yo, she's like paving the way. She wants that. And it turns out that they were into each other. So there's just this really weird scene where the main character's breaking up with Michael. And then she's like, yo, I know someone perfect for you. And then she sets him up with her friend.
What?
And everybody's okay with it. And I was like, what's going on? It was just really funny. Because she's like, oh, really? And you could just see her hand fucking slapping her leg in excitement. And I was like, yeah, we can tell. So apparently there was no cheating. But I was just being very cynical, I guess. I was like, so yeah, don't watch it, okay? Save you some time. Shit, what was the other one we watched that was also painful? Oh, The Story of Us. Sorry, The Story of Us. If you want to look it up on IMDb, you gotta make sure you have that the. I don't even remember that one because it was really bad. I just didn't care about it. And I mean, it's hard because a lot of these premises are the exact same. But yeah, I don't remember anything about this movie. No, I do. The aunt in that movie actually played in the other one we watched called Bottled Up Love. Something along those lines, but that one was actually really good. I actually enjoyed it. It was really cute, but I also thought like the actors actually did a good job. And I think that was my problem with The Story of Us. I thought the girl was okay. Like I thought she was into it, but the other guy, like some of the times was just like, meh. And you're like, oh. And even like their last scene together, they like give each other a peck, and I was like, no. We need a real kiss, all right? But no, I really like, and like I think the reason why I like Bottle of Love is because it has the dumbest concept, but it just works.
Yeah.
So the idea is that this girl gets stood up on a date. So her aunt from The Story of Us, who also plays the aunt in this one, don't know why.
She's just everybody's aunt.
She's everybody's aunt. So the character writes down like a letter to her love, I guess, like, or the love that should be out there or something.
Oh yeah.
And then she puts it in a bottle and she throws it out to sea.
Oh.
And a fisherman finds it, and then they connect over email and fall in love.
Oh yes, I like that. I would watch that.
It was actually a surprise. I think my favorite scene is gonna make no sense, but so the main character is paired up with this new guy at the office who, you know, a spoiler alert, happens to be the fisherman guy who finds her bottle.
Okay.
But they don't know it at this point. Or he knows, but she doesn't.
Okay.
Anyways, he comes to her house to pick her up because they're trying to do a business deal with somebody at this apple cider vineyard.
Okay.
And so the scene is he comes really early to pick her up, and the aunt is there, and she goes, oh, hi! And so they're introducing... So she's introducing herself to this guy, and then the niece comes downstairs and goes, how did you get in the house? Oh, you gave me a key. Me and my friend are like, how did you not know she was in the house? But the weird thing is like she's wearing like a night robe, so she clearly like either slept there somehow and she just didn't know she was there. It was the weirdest exchange of dialogue ever written, but it was so dumb. It was hard not to like it. I was like, wow, this is so fucking weird.
Nice.
Don't watch Romance in the Air or The Story of Us, but definitely watch Bottled Love.
All right.
I personally enjoyed it. It's a Kaylee recommendation.
Excellent. I will have to check that out.
I do find, though, with the Hallmark ones, like, they do have, obviously, repetitive storylines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I find the ones that have the most stupid, outlandish concepts are usually the ones I enjoy the most.
Yeah.
There's been a couple that were, like, a letdown. But, again, I think this because the actual concept sounded pretty solid, and then they just fucked it up somehow.
Yeah.
Kendra, have you watched Dead to Me before?
I have not.
So I feel like I told you about it before because me and my parents started to watch it.
Okay.
Anywho's pickle. Dead to Me stars Christina Applegate and Linda, I forgot your last name, but she plays Velma in the live action Scooby-Doo.
Okay.
It's a series about this wife who her husband dies very suddenly from a hit and run. So it's her trying to deal with her grief.
Okay.
But it's also a bit of a mystery, a bit of a suspense.
Okay.
And we haven't finished the first season. We're on episode 7 though of 10, and I love it so much. Like her character in that show, the widow. Oh my god, they're both really good. I'm surprised they did not. I'm not sure if they got nominated, but they should have won awards. Like it's just so good.
And it's a recent series?
Yeah, like season 2 just came out, I think, half a week ago.
Okay.
It's just so funny. There's this scene, and to be fair, maybe if you're not into dark humor or into pretty, like, sad subject matter, like, maybe this won't be the show for you. But I think they just do it really well. There's this whole scene where, one of the characters, Judy, is talking to Christina Applegate, she's coming to like a grief like circle, like, you know, group for the first time. She's just kind of talking, and then Judy's like, "Can I give you a hug?" And then Christina Applegate just looks at her, "No." And they're good together because Christina's just full of rage because her husband, you know, has untimely been murdered. She's upset. But she has so much rage, and she's just so blunt, and she's so funny. And then Judy's way more kind-hearted.
Yeah.
And she's like, there's this whole scene where they're at a restaurant, and they're trying to talk to a waitress, because they're trying to get info out of her. And Judy's like, oh, if you're just nice to her, you know, and, you know, then I'll lower her defenses, and then you can ask her all kinds of questions. And then Christina Applegate's like, I'm not trying to be your fucking friend. I just need fucking info. And it's just, it's so good. It's dark humor at its best. But like I said, maybe if you're not into that, this might not be the show for you. And there's also they're really good at making, like, super uncomfortable moments and still make me laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, if you're not into dark humor, this might not be the show for you, all listeners out there. But like I said, I haven't finished it yet, and I'm already, like, dying to, like, get onto, like, season 2 and just, like, keep going.
It sounds good. I'll have to check it out.
And the episodes are super short.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another Kaylee recommendation.
Nice.
Me and my parents have been watching, so I am excited to finish it.
That's awesome.
Oh, so I already told this to Kendra earlier, but me and my friend finished watching Blind Spot, which it was a series finale. It is all done. It's all wrapped up. And I'd say for a series ending, I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I didn't hate it. I was like, this is relatively good. And me and my friend were doing research about it, and, like, if you've ever watched Blind Spot, the whole first season, all the episode titles are actually in code, because the whole series is about puzzles and solving codes and stuff. So the first couple episodes, the titles were actually a code that you could go online, and if you were able to decipher it, it was actually an alternative title to the episode. It was, like, really cool.
Nice.
And so, yeah, we were looking up different codes and, like, seeing, like, what more meaning there could be to the ending.
Yeah.
But it actually got me thinking about, and we were talking a little bit about this, about, like, shows, like, the last episodes of shows.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but I was like, I honestly couldn't think of, like, good show endings, you know? Like, endings where I was like, yes, this is perfect. I can think of a bunch where I'm like, wow, that was awful.
Like, you mean like series endings?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like, and maybe I'm crazy, but I just feel like a lot of people talk about all the bad ones, but I can't think of any good ones.
It's honestly, it's true though that like there are a lot more bad than good, but I think, I mean, we could go on and on about it forever, but it's to me, it's like a mixture of, you know, not ending it when it should have ended.
Yes.
And trying to want to keep it going because you've got all these other like possibilities and opportunities that you want to try and tackle with it, but then it just kind of, instead of going out with a bang, it just, you kind of go out with a
right.
But like, yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, well, the show, I don't think you've watched Chuck yet.
No.
But Chuck had a good ending. I like how they wrapped that one up. It kind of came full circle and it was a nice, sweet ending. Yeah, there's not many that you can think of off the top of your head.
Right?
Smallville was actually a good ending. I liked Smallville.
Well, I was actually thinking, I didn't mind Arrow's finale.
Yeah, Arrow was good, yes.
But again, I don't know. Yeah, I just can't think of ones that were just like, this is how you end a series kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think you're right. You either just run it to the ground, or you have that unfortunate thing where it gets cut short out of no control out of your own, and now you have to scramble to make an ending.
Yeah, exactly, yep.
Oh, you didn't think of that now. You said you've watched Castle, right? Like, you were a pretty avid watcher of Castle?
I only watched a few episodes here and there. My dad watched all of it, though.
Okay. Yeah, I think, so I was on the same boat as you. I just kind of watched the odd episode with my parents, and I really liked it. Unfortunately, I've always kind of wanted to watch from the beginning,
Me
but
too,
I just never have.
Yeah.
But I remember watching the finale for that, and even, like, again, I wasn't, like a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it, but even I could tell, like, wow, this is dog shite. Like, holy shit. But again, it fell into the category that I think they thought they were going to be renewed for another season.
Yeah.
But they definitely did not.
Yeah.
And you could just tell it, like, the ending is so scrambled, and it's so random, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, how?
And actually, that makes me wonder, too, because, like, when you hear about shows like Community, who didn't think that they were going to get another season, like, you know, how they were talking about it during the table read, and even Chuck, too, like, I hear Zachary Levi talk all the time, or, like, all of them talk about, like, they didn't think that they were going to survive the first season and stuff like that, and they ended up doing that, and then, you know, there was a point where I think the show ended, the only reason the show ended up going, you know, for a few more seasons as it did, because it was only 5 seasons, but it was because of the fans.
Yeah.
The fans petitioned to keep it going. It just makes me wonder, too, like, if that mentality of expecting that they weren't going to survive the next season helps the writers to kind of, like, hone in on wrapping up each season as it is, so it's enough to give you the potential for more, but you're not leaving everything open-ended and going, okay, well, what happens to all these people, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. That probably helps, like, tremendously.
Yeah.
I can't think of any shows at the top of my head, but because otherwise you're like you said, you're in that opposite boat where you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to keep going. Nope.
Yeah.
Because I remember, actually, I think it's on my shelf there. There was a show called Moonlight. Not to be confused with Moonlighting with, I think, Bruce Willis. But Moonlight was the show about a vampire. The guy's now on Hawaii Five-0, so I guess it all worked out for him. But it was one of the few shows about vampires, and I think maybe because it came out a little bit after Twilight, but maybe just as vampire craze was dying out, and maybe that's why the show didn't survive. But I have the first season. It was something I really enjoyed, and that it mostly wraps up, but yeah, the ending, if I remember correctly, it ends off with, because all the vampires are supposed to be in hiding, but it ends off with a list being sent to, like, the detective agency or something, to revealing all these lists of people who are vampires.
Ooh.
So they're about to be exposed, and of course it got canceled after 1 season. So, man, it sucks.
Yeah. Oh, there was another one I just thought of. What was it? Bates Motel was a really good one.
You're telling.
I enjoyed that series.
Still haven't watched that. I gotta watch that one too.
Also, another good one too. It's kind of like that one you were saying, where if you're not into that type of thing, you might not enjoy it. But the show Aquarius on Netflix, I really enjoyed. It's about a fictional police officer or detective back in the 70s.
Okay.
Who has an encounter with Charles Manson and the Manson family.
Oh.
So it's kind of similar to the style that Quentin Tarantino did with his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where it's like, what if this happened at that time in history? So yeah, so he's like, oh, what's his name? I can't remember his name. But the character is a fictional character, but literally majority of everybody else around him were real people back in that time. So you've got like the Black Panthers, and that whole group, and then you've got like Charles Manson and the Manson family, and it's him kind of going and like discovering clues and evidence towards all of the things that the Manson family did leading up to that like iconic thing with Sharon Tate and stuff like that. So it's actually really good. I really enjoyed it. It kind of had like a Dexter vibe, just how the show kind of goes, like very police crime type. But it was good. I enjoyed it a lot. It's
called Aquarius?
It's called Aquarius, yes.
I definitely would have thought mermaids, but this is not where I thought it was going. Mermaids who are also police officers. Woo! Protecting land and sea. Pew, pew, pew! There's so much TV. There's so much good movies. I need to give up on life and just watch everything. But I think for right now, that'll wrap today's podcast.
Yeah, that about wraps it up.
Every time. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. Boom.
Those are always the best.
Right? But thank you all for listening. Have a happy Tuesday.
Yep.
Continue to stay safe out there.
Send your thoughts and prayers to Kaylee for her laptop.
Yes, thank you.
You made it through that whole podcast without mentioning it after you said it.
I know. Darn it. I should have mentioned it more. Oh well. Missed opportunity. We'll try to do more. Be kind to everyone.
Yep.
Especially be kind to people who have to go back to work.
Yes.
They are just trying to make a living wage. If you don't want to treat people with kindness,
don't go out.
Yep.
Stay inside.
Simple solution. Don't interact with the world. But everyone else who's still out there fighting that good fight, thank you. We appreciate you. Mm-hmm. We see you through the audio waves. They'll be like, we can't really see you, but we hope that we've provided some form of entertainment this week.
Yes.
And can't wait to talk to you guys next week. Goodbye!
Bye, cinema peeps.
Bye-bye. Monkey, and slap. Funeral will be held for my laptop sometime this week.